So are we set, please?
Yes, we are set.
All right. The other people are coming in now, so and I don't want them to lag behind. Okay. All right. Where was I? Where was I? Okay. All right. Here, this is where we are. I've explained here that we have two if statements here. The lady that asked that question, is she here?
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay.
I'm following.
Okay. All right. Great. All right. So there are two if statements here, two conditions. And you know, the other time we used two requirements and the two requirements. So now we are going to be using two if statements. And the first if statement, this is the first if block. This is the first if block now, and this is the block. So inside the block, there's another statement, if statement again, another condition that is checking that if the message the value is equal to the price, then at that point in time, you can now set the ownership to this person. Otherwise, you what? You revert this to the initial state. Okay. So let us compile it. What is the okay? Yeah, that is the issue there. What's the issue again? No matching declaration.
Yeah, I think there was no declaration of revert from the beginning or from the onset in the coding, so I don't know.
No, revert is supposed to be a global variable in solidity, except if it has
maybe you can
changed.
change it to return or so.
Except if it has changed. So let me just put it back to the other. Let's just use this. It will return these amounts, this statement. Sorry. Okay, that's successful. So let us deploy it now. We deploy it here. Successful. So check. So now we have by. So let us try it now. Let us try to use 3 eta. So I'm sure it should not go. So let us try to buy. So is it going? If message the sender. Okay. All right. So I'll explain to you now. So can you see that this thing it went through? Can you see that it showed green? Okay. It shows us green. The transaction went through. But if you check that address, this address that tries to buy with 3 eta, the address to show false, it will not go to be the owner. Okay, let's set it. Can you see that it's showing false here now? It's showing false that it is not the owner, but in the initial state, the transaction went through because it shows green. That's the difference between if statement and require. When you are using if statements in solidity, if statements will not reverse the state. I mean, it will not throw error if the conditions are not true. But this code will not be executed. Okay, but it will be read. The other one will be read, but it will not be executed, and it will consume all the gas. Do you understand?
Yeah, does that mean it's not advisable to always use that conditional statement if?
Exactly, it's advisable to use. There's situation you will need to use if statement when there are multiple conditions. Okay, usually when you are using struct, it's advisable to use if. But if you are dealing with this value like this, it's advisable to use require, because the the system immediately will revert. It will panic, and it will not, and it will return. Somebody is. And it will return the gas, the remaining gas that is used, if you are using require. But if you are using if statement will consume all the gas. Can you see now that this place, it went through all the gas that you use, here, that you set here, it will consume everything. Okay, but the require will immediately exit, and it will return the remaining gas. Do you understand? Hello?
I'm with you. I'm following. Yes.
Okay, do you understand, or you need me to explain more?
No, it's clear.
Okay, all right, great. So here the ownership is false. Yeah, but if we try to buy with 1 ether, and you say buy, can you see now it will go through? Can you see that it go through again? It go through. Let me try to buy again. Buy. It goes through again. It went through. So, but if you check the ownership, it is false. But if you try to buy with 2 ether, and you say buy, it will go through. And if you check the ownership, it will be true. Can you see the ownership now as passing? But that's the difference between require and if statement. So let me copy this. And let me reverse it to the initial. Okay, all right, this is the initial code. I'll paste it here in case, comment it. Okay, so let us delete this one. Let us run it again. I'm going to compile it again because things are changed. Then here, deploy it, successful. So open the contract and try to buy with 1 ether. And you will see what it will tell you. Say buy. Can you see now that immediately it throws error? It will not move forward. It will not even go through at all. Hello everyone.
I'm following.
Right.
Okay, so it will not go through at all. And if you try to buy with also more than 2 ether, it will not go through. It will not go through again. But put the same 2 ether there, and it will welcome it. And if you check the ownership, paste it. Oh, sorry. Let me copy the address here. Paste it. Ownership. Then that is true. Okay, at this point now, this is the question time. I'm leaving like 10 minutes for question to attend to question before we round up. Anyone has question? I don't think
May
people.
I ask my question, please?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. I'm coming from another background entirely. I just want to be clear about your what's it called, unsigned integer, which is pride. You said it's 2 ether. Normally, once you have a very what's it called, a string attached to what's it called, a number, it should throw an error. Is that something that goes freely with solidity?
Yes.
You know, it will just go. There's no problem with that. So
yes,
I say we can have integer and string together in solidity, and it will fly.
In this case, in solidity understands when you use eta. It is a global. This eta is a global. It's a global object,
Okay.
global variable in solidity. So when you put ordinary 2, it's seeing it as a different value entirely. So let us remove that eta. Let us remove that eta and try to run it. So let us practicalize it. Let me delete it and recompile it again and recompile it. Then here we come here. Let us deploy. Okay, here open. Now trying to pass in 1 eta, then by. Can you see it shows error? Okay, so let me pass in 3 eta above. Let me buy. It shows error. So let me buy 2. Can you see now it shows error?
Yeah, okay.
Even when we use the one we are expecting, even when we use the 2, it shows us error because the EVM is seeing something else. If you look at the byte code, if you can read byte code very well, you check it, you see that there's a difference. The push, let me not use that word so because you may not understand. These 2 now, it will be rendered as a different form in the EVM in the byte code, but it's not seeing now 2 eta. Okay, the amount is equal to 2 eta. That this message dot value is referring to Ethereum. It's referring to the native token on that blockchain, either BNB or Ethereum. So if you are using ordinary 2 here, this is an ordinary integer. But if you now postpone it, how do they call it? If you now put eta, which is a global variable, so the EVM now understand that you are pointing to eta. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. So any other person with question before we round up?
Can
Please, I want.
can we call on Ether on can we call on Ether on Binance blockchain, BSC?
No, you cannot use Ether on BSC blockchain. In the next class, we will be using BSC. But basically, I need to introduce you to the Ethereum environment for you to understand, because BSC supports is compatible with Ethereum virtual machine 100%. So if you understand Ethereum, you'll be able to program very well on BSC, because a lot of people understand Ethereum. So when you understand Ethereum, you can be able to program on BSC. So in the next class, we'll be going to BSC. Okay.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Would we be able to watch the recorded clip of this tutorial?
Sure.
Okay, because I missed a lot. So.
Okay. I'm sorry about that. So at this point, I believe
Excuse me, I have a question.
Okay, who is that? Go ahead, please.
It's not really a question like that, but I just want to like will I call it a cheat sheet that something that can, like a format of how solidity is being written, just like we have in HTML when you have the header, the body, the footer. You don't have what I'm trying to say. Some like a format, a prototype of like how a complete solidity file should look like.
Okay.
So that I just want to have that on my system, and when I'm trying to play around with it, I can just like do some preliminary code with them.
Okay.
I think if I understand what he's trying to say, I was going to say that it's like, while back in school, if we want to write a letter, they normally tells us how to go about it, like the address, introduction, the body, and conclusion.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay. But hello. I think in our previous class, I made introduction to programming, and I explained a lot of things about everything I'm doing here. That is why I'm not going outside a few functions and some data types here, because those who attend the last class and I dropped the video, they could understand, should understand and grab everything that is here. But if you want me to explain the basics. I'm going to go about it now because I
Yeah,
believe
maybe
that
that's
you are
No,
exposed to it.
it
no, maybe
doesn't get
that's
what I'm
maybe
saying.
Okay, what are you trying to say, please?
Like, just like Mr. Poli just said a few minutes ago, say if you want to write the letter now, during high school days, they will tell you this is a formal letter, and a formal letter you put your address here, you put your body of the letter here, the conclusion, the greeting, you understand? Just like in HTML, most of us we have this format that is
exactly.
already prepared on ground where you have HTML, the header, the body, the footer, and the complete setup of it.
Okay.
So that I can just interchange. Like if I just want to do for a sales contract, the prototype is there already. I will just
And
change some of the variables, some of the functions and all that.
That
you are
will
talking
help
about
us.
templates.
Exactly. That's the word.
Yeah,
Templates.
a
That's the word
template,
I'm looking
please.
for. Template.
Okay, all right. See, okay, all right, great. The thing there is there are thousands ways to program. Okay, the way we can
Yeah.
program in different way and achieve the same result.
Exactly.
Okay, so that is why even
Okay.
some may not like templates. Me, I don't like templates. If I see templates, I try to write my own. Even if I try to follow it, I will read it to understand what it means. Then I'll try to write in my own ways. But if you are not that good, or maybe you like cracking your brain or something like that, then
We
you
are
might.
still a baby in solidity now, now.
I understand. I understand. I understand. The thing there is solidity. This is the template, and this is what we are giving you. The template is how the contract should go. The format, what should come first, what should go first. No, now let me explain to you. It has
Okay.
to first of all start with the contract name, like I told you. Inside the contract body, this is the contract body. This curly brace here, the first curly brace and the last curly brace here. This is the body of the contract, and inside the contract, the first thing is the state variables. State variables, you declare your state variables. Then after state variables, you can also declare what we call event type.
Okay.
Come to that later. Event type, or before the event, sorry, you can even be, I think, events, and then you can the constructor here. Okay, then after that, you cannot create a mapping. You cannot create a mapping. After the mapping, then the function can follow. Okay, sorry, before the mapping, you can create what they call modifier. You see, creating all these things has to follow how your program follow. But one thing about solidity is that it does not matter where you place the functions. Okay, it does not really matter where you place the function. You can place it, the function to buy here. You can place the function to buy down. You can place to sell here. So solidity understand that. But something that must come first are these state variable, events, and there's what we call struct. There's what we call struct. Then there's what we call enum. Okay. So all these things, they are data types in solidity. So if we go to here, let me come back here. So you can see from here in solidity documentation, it says the following types are also called value type because variables of these values will always be passed by values. They are always okay. We have boolean, we have integers, we have bit operations, that's comparison, division, okay, integer, okay, all of them. That's not what I'm actually address type. They are data types in solidity. If you read this documentation very well, you will understand solidity. If you understand English and you can read it very well, you will understand solidity very well. So do you get that now, please?
What document are you talking about?
The solidity documentation, the one that I show you just now.
Okay.
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah, okay,
Yes.
okay.
Okay. I'll drop it in
Yeah,
the
I
chat
have a
now.
bookmark of that.
All right, Mr. Bob.
Okay, you're welcome.
Mr.
Go
All
ahead,
right,
please.
Mr. Bob, please, can I hack some things?
Okay, go ahead, please.
All right. The first thing now is that I think we, by the reason of what we were taught today, to be able to stay more on it and go and crack more on it.
I can't hear you. It's breaking.
Our brains. I think
Hello, Jales. I
His
can't hear
network
you.
is so bad.
I can't
The
hear you
network
at
is
all.
bad, Alex.
And I know that's. Oh, sorry.
Maybe you should type your question.
Can you type it?
As in my network, so just use the chat box.
Okay. Can you quickly go ahead, please? 5 more minutes for question. Okay, see, Jalex, you can put it in the chat, please. I will attend to it. Or you can drop it for me privately on WhatsApp. So at this junction, let me ask, does anybody, understand what we have done so far?
Yeah, you have really helped. Solidity is becoming more clearer.
Okay.
With your assistant, and honestly, we appreciate.
I'm happy to hear that.
Thank you very much. But if we're able to do the structures very well,
We'll go. No. We'll go. I will ensure that we work very well with the documentation. I will go deeper and deeper as time goes on.
I wish I'm at your location. I should have taken you out.
I stay around Lekki Ajay axis actually.
Unfortunately, I'm far north. I'm with this hand snail.
Ah. Okay. God will protect you.
Amen.
Okay, so lastly, let me just use 5 minutes and go through this. Somebody's.
Love you guys. You're saying Lekki Aja. Maybe I'll come to that Lekki.
Yes, so
To come do what? To come and do what? They go shop Europe from here. So
feel like saying that place be God deal.
All right, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now, Mr. Bob?
Okay, Jalex. Okay, go ahead, please.
Let me just quickly say, I said, can't we just have an assignment to further racking our brains and how to install Remix and maybe VS if needed and some other things like that?
Okay, I will put the assignment on the group.
All right, thank you.
Is that fine? I'll put it on the group. I've also been thinking about that. I think that's a good. I'll put it on the group as soon as this ends. Because of this, I don't want this time to be against us again. So let me just go over this once again for the last time. Like I said,
we need the recorded video play. So
everything is recorded. This is
okay, thank you.
This is a contract. Everything about solidity is about contract. Everything about solidity is about contract. Just like in Python, you are writing a class. This is a Python. In Python, if you are writing a class here, you say class animal. Class animal is okay. That is what? Class animal. So we can now call init function. I mean, yeah, that's it. No? You can now call the init function. Okay. So this is this is a class in Python, and this is it's paired with class keyword, which is a global variable. It's a keyword, reserved keyword in Python, and this is the class name, and it's prepared by after then you enter the body of the class. So same thing in Solidity. That's why we say Solidity is an extension of Python and it's influenced by Python and JavaScript. In Solidity also, we call something we call contrast. But there are a lot of things that are available in Python and JavaScript that are not available in Solidity because of security issue. So now we have contract and set. This is the contract name, and this is the body. And inside the body, we have a data type. We specify a data type called string. I mean, we create a variable underscore house. A variable house. Let me use house. Then the value is, the data type is string, and this is the value here. And we create a price for the house. This house, this is the price. The price is 2 ether. This is the value, and this is the type. You must specify this type. If you not specify this type, Solidity will throw error. Let me remove it. Let me remove it. Yeah, try to compile it now. You will see. If it show you error here, it tells you expected identifier but got equals to, is asking for identifier. Identifier is actually what is asking you is the type here. Is the type here. So if we put this as public, if you put it as public, everyone will see the price. If we put the house as public, everyone will see the house we want to sell. And we now for us to sell this house belongs to us, right? So the ownership of this house is what we put in this mapping here. This mapping has a lot of use cases. For instance, you can store account balance here. You can store different here. It's a storage in the what? In the blockchain. But this storage is only it's a kind of a hash. You understand? Is how can I put it? You can go read about it in the documentation. It's not something that you can say you want to get the value of something in a list using the index. No, it does not. It's not stored as a list. It's stored as a hash. So that hash, if you input your address here, the address will be decoded, and the hash will be decoded, and if it match the address, it will search where it stored this value and return this value to you. So now we now say use address as the key and use Boolean value as a value. And the name is ownership. This is a variable. This ownership is a variable that is holding the what? This information here in the EVM. So each time we want to get the value in this Boolean, we have to specify the address, and it will return this arrow function here. This arrow function is used in JavaScript. So that is why it is what and influenced by JavaScript. It is mapping this address, okay, to the Boolean. So, and the function here is, we say buy. Public, it is public and it is payable. Without this payable, it cannot sell Ether. So it requires that the ownership or this person calling this contract must not be the ownership in the initial stage. And the value the person is trying to pass to pay must be equal to the amount that we set as the price. Then if all these conditions are true, then pass the ownership to the message the sender, the person calling this contract. So that is all. So now if you compile it, that should be successful, and you go here, you deploy it. Let me remove it again. Deploy it again. It's successful, and you come here, open it, you try to buy, pass in 2 Ether that we are expecting, and this is the buyer. So let us buy. So can you see now it is true here. So if you check the ownership here, paste the address here, check the ownership, it shows you true. Okay, so if you check the price, The price is this. This is 2 Ethereum. Can you see now? 2 Ethereum. That is 18 zeros. That is 18 zeros to power 18 way raised to, I mean, is equal to 1 ether or something. Okay. So, and this is our price, 2 ether. And this is house we want to sell. Ours is house in Banana Island. So that's all for that. So everyone, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you all. And here we will stop this lesson for today.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you very, very much. You've done truly, truly well. Like I said, if I was to be in Lagos, you know what I'm supposed to do. But I put it to the guys, no, Brian. Those people
Right.
that in Lagos are supposed to do what they need to do. Do the needful, guys. Thank you so much. However,
Thank you.
you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much, Mr. Bob. God bless you.
Thank you, guys. God bless you too. So see you later. Bye.
Bye. Have a nice day, my brother.
You too, bro.
Look for the video.
Thanks so much.
Look for the video.
Yeah, I will drop the video. I will drop the video on the group when it's ready.
Then the
Alright.
material.
Okay.